Hello folks, Brandon Chapman on the TheoTrade video today for Monday, February 23rd. Are financials about to break the market? Today's prints in the options market and financials adds to a litany of bearish trades that have been building just beneath the surface that may suddenly being realized today as financials are the worst performing sector, down 3.3% today. And again, we're seeing more logs being added to that bearish fire that's going on today. And the question becomes, all of these puts that have been added, that gamma risk or gamma potential squeeze to the downside, is financial finally the one that's going to push institutions out of delta comfortable to delta uncomfortable, right? And force some selling. What we've been seeing in the S&P 500 generally, now we didn't exactly make it back to the prior high in this case. We're seeing kind of a matching candle here. Look like we may want to retest lows, form a lower high versus our previous back here. And we're looking at this and saying, well, why haven't we broken out? I mean, we got a VIX of over 20 right now. We're 21.38. This is not a low VIX, by the way. And for a market that's trading in a 3% kind of range over the last month, and the VIX keeps rising. And by the way, SKEW keeps rising as well. Yeah, on Friday, we ticked up to 145. We may see go higher today, maybe. But the point is that hedges are being added. Now, normally, SKEW rises, it's kind of highlighted here, SKEW rises as the volatility falls. What causes SKEW to rise? Well, it's buying puts and selling calls. And frequently, as they're buying that protection, as they're hedging, they're selling more calls than they're buying puts. But in this circumstance, we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing the VIX rise as we consolidate, as more puts are being bought. They're still selling calls, but it's just the VIX is rising because we're seeing more net demand for options to create downside hedges and protection. So as of right now, it's the hedges ultimately that will spell the doom for the market to create the downside gamma squeeze. But it does take price movement outside of what's acceptable to push the envelope on the gamma squeeze. But the reason why the market's been bottled up as the volatility is rising is precisely because these hedges are keeping those institutional traders at kind of a delta comfortable level. But when you see financials break out by 3% today, breaking to a multi-month low, this is the lowest price level we've been in XLF since June of last year. This may finally be the canary in the coal mine that does break out. Or maybe it's the owl. Because if we're trying to assess, well, why the selling today in financial stocks, in banking stocks like KRE? We can point to the option market's activity, but from a broader perspective, when you look at what's going on with Blue Owl and the private credit markets, this creates a significant amount of concern. Who in the banking space does a lot of lending other than regional banks? KRE is an ETF that represents those stocks. It's down 4.4% today. This is a significant move, and this is a product that can crash and can move fast. I was hoping this thing would have happened last week, but we kind of stalled out. Now we're seeing the break today. But this may finally be the legs to the downside the market requires in order to kind of break us out of this rotation from technology to staples, or staples to technology. And today we're seeing selling in technology and leading to rotation of staples. It's just a rotation day after day, even intraday. You can see these rotational type of dynamics. And the one that's kind of sitting in the middle here is XLU. Maybe a great place to short here, isn't it? So the point is that we got to start to see a degree of correlation to the downside. But what we are seeing is a weak dollar, seeing gold prices rise sharply today and silver prices rise sharply today, is not creating, right, is not being pressured because the dollar is not strengthening. And the reality is the strike down last week from the Supreme Court, while it didn't exactly have a lot of teeth to it, we can certainly get around it, but it may delay some potential tariffs. It may lead to more dollar selling. And we're seeing silver and gold jump today. It's certainly reflective of the dollar's weakness today. But all it takes is another credit crisis like financials and KRE appear to be signaling. And guess what's going to happen is we're going to see the dollar strengthen. Why? Because there's a lot of foreign debt that has to be repaid in dollars. And we start to see financial stress that typically leads to an increased demand in dollars. And guess what? We also see an increased demand in Japanese yen. Are we seeing the yen break today? We saw it break a little bit. We're kind of coming off that level, but we saw that a little over a week ago. If we start to see this break support, we can see again another major downside move. So be careful. What the market's suggesting in the high degree of skew and the high VIX is that the waters are not calm for the S&P 500 generally. The risk is to the downside. Can we somehow get out of this volatility box and just crawl out of it? Well, the skew would suggest that if we do that, it's going to be under a more labored circumstance, not unlike we've seen over the last few weeks here as we kind of ground out towards the end of the year into early this year, some small gains. It's going to be small upside moves and bigger downside potential, at least as we see skew well above 130 at a very high level historically. Yes, we've had nosebleed levels in the last year, but that's not something to expect. We do know that a high degree of hedging is at 145. And on top of that, they're buying more puts, which is causing the VIX to drive up. And that's not what happens during a consolidation. If you look at the volatility, that's the VVIX. What's the VVIX doing right now? We're bouncing off 110. We're in, as Don calls, the VAMA zone. This is certainly not a riskless area. And the fact of the matter is, I asked this question earlier today. Is it easier to forecast direction and magnitude of movement, or is it easier to understand the risk in the market? The fact of the matter is, it's much easier rather, to identify when risk levels are elevated than be able to set an appropriate target and time frame for the market at every turn. That is fool's gold. You're just not going to get there. But right now, the risk levels in the market, and it's been this way since February 28th, which is right there, has been to the downside. So at this point, it's a function of what? Having more cash. Maybe you have hedges, but guess what? When the VIX is elevated like this, it's a whole lot harder to hedge equities in this environment. That's why I walked through how to hedge an equity portfolio back on December 2nd here, and you've had a chance to continue to parlay that in the future and keep those hedges rolling. So again, going back to our questions, are financials about to break the market? Frequently, you experience a financial crisis ahead of any major market correction. But right now, certainly in the near term, it may be the catalyst that pushes us outside of what's understandable and acceptable, and may finally pressure institutions that are comfortable with their delta or market exposure to suddenly be uncomfortable and then begin to force a degree of correlation where maybe you have technology down 1% and staples down 1% all in the same day, because that hasn't happened for a while. If you watch XLP and the massive move that's happened here, and we're getting a decent bounce today. Well, folks, that's what I got for the video today. And again, we go back to the console, and again, I guess we can kind of see these KRE. They're buying May 15, 63 puts. We look at XLF, for example. They're buying April 2nd, 47 puts. And Wells Fargo, oops, I guess I got to put the right similar. Wells Fargo, they're buying 5,000 March 27, 77 puts. And again, this is just adding to a litany of big downside put trades in the banking space and financial space over the past month. And again, we're starting to see that gamma play out, and that gamma pressure is resulting right now to the downside. And again, the next step is for that gamma pressure to be deployed market-wide to the downside as well. Folks, all I got for today. We'll see you back next week on the video. Have a great one. Thank you.